Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, we're going to do another episode of Bites and Nibbles with Breck today. Today we are going to make a pot roast in the Instant Pot. Now, I love a pot roast. I love all the ingredients in this, and I have decided I'm actually going to double up the recipe. So we're going to make 2 times this because 1, it freezes really well, and 2, one of the ingredients in here is red wine, and I'm not really a red wine drinker. I'm not a wine drinker really of any type. So when recipes call for that, you know, I use the red wine that's called for in the recipe, and the rest of it ends up going to waste. So by doubling up the recipe, I'll be able to use twice as much of the wine and not have to waste as much. So let's take a look at our ingredients. So these are the ingredients for our pot roast. First off, we're going to have, in this case, 6 pounds of ground chuck roast, some red wine, a little olive oil, some beef broth, a little steak sauce, some salt and pepper, onions, carrots, celery, potatoes, and a little garlic for flavor. So as often is the case, a lot of these ingredients, especially the veggies, require a little preparation ahead of time. So I'm going to get all the veggies chopped up and ready to go so that when we're ready to put them into the Instant Pot, we'll be good to go. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit after I've done that, and I'll show you the result. Alright, some time has passed by. I've chopped up all my vegetables. I got my carrots and my celery here, my potatoes here. It actually said chop the potatoes into quarters, but I don't know. I don't want to be eating chunks of potato that are the size of softballs. So I chopped them up a little smaller. I have my onions. I've got my garlic. I've also measured out my red wine and my beef broth, and now I'm pretty much ready to go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil into the Instant Pot. We're going to put the Instant Pot into saute mode, and we're going to brown our roast on both sides. Okay, so we're going to start by putting our Instant Pot into saute mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil into the Instant Pot. Couple tablespoons. I'm going to do a little bit more because I have a big Instant Pot and we're going to be cooking a lot of meat here. And then we're just going to basically put our roast right there in the Instant Pot, and we're going to saute it a little bit on each side until it's nice and brown. I'll let you know what that looks like in just a couple minutes. Alright, meat's heated up a little bit. Got a nice brown on one side. Now we're going to flip it over, do on the other side. Probably give it a little bit more olive oil here just to keep it well lubricated. Let that cook for a little bit. Once that's done, we're going to put it on a plate and cook the other one, and then we'll put that aside and we'll continue on with our recipe. Alright, got the first one out and on the plate, and got the second one in, and we're going to kind of just repeat the process on this. Okay, we browned our beef, and I'm just going to put this aside for now because we don't need this at the moment. We're going to move on with something else. What we're going to do is we're going to pour our beef broth into the Instant Pot and steam up the camera a little bit. And we're going to get in here, we're going to kind of scrape off the beef chunks that are still stuck to the bottom of the pan. It's called glazing it. Just adds to the flavor. And I'm just going to kind of do that a little bit with a spatula here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, next we're going to add our red wine into the mix. We are going to put our carrots and our celery into there, along with our potatoes. I don't know, hope that's not going to be too many potatoes. That looks like an awful lot, doesn't it? We're going to top with our onions. And our garlic, which I forgot to stage, that's still over here. It's maybe a little bit more garlic than usual because I like garlic. A lot of this stuff is to taste, so. And then we're going to top with a little bit of salt for flavor. And after that, we are going to put our beef on top of that. Yeah, it's amazing. It's pretty full. Next thing we're going to do is put in our salt and pepper just on the top. It's about half a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. Once again, I'm doubling this recipe, so there's more. Everything's doubled, because that's what it means when you double it, right? Next, we're going to put on a little steak sauce. I'm just going to use some A1 because I'm a fan of A1. You can tell I'm a fan of A1 because I don't have a lot of it left. But I think this will be fine. And we're going to use my basting brush here just to kind of spread it all around. Make sure every little inch of it's covered. All right. All right, I think we're good to go there. All right, that's looking pretty good. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to press the cancel button to cancel our saute mode. We're going to put the lid on and secure it. We're going to go into, in my case, in the case of my Instant Pot, it says pressure cook. Some older ones may say manual, but in this case, we're going to press either the manual or the pressure cook. We're going to make sure we're in high, and we are going to set the timer for 45 minutes. And we'll catch up in about 45 minutes. All right, 45 minutes have gone by, and we're going to allow this thing to naturally release for another 15 minutes, and then we'll quick release the rest of the pressure, and this thing will be ready to go. All right, 15 minutes of slow release has taken place. We're going to hit the cancel to shut off the heat, and we're going to quick release the rest of the pressure. I'm hoping because this thing isn't so full that it doesn't erupt again like it did that one time I did split pea soup. Nope, that looks like it's a good successful release. So we're going to let that release pressure, and when the pin drops, we'll be ready to check this thing out. Now, because the fact that this thing is so full, the release of pressure is going to take a few minutes. Yeah, that took about 4 minutes to vent. That's not uncommon, though, when you're dealing with an Instant Pot that's as full as this one. Okay, so we're going to pull the lid off. Once again, we're going to be very, very careful of the condensation because that can be very, very hot. But oh boy, does that look good. All right, we're going to let that stop simmering here for a moment or two, and then we'll pull this out and see what we got. Smells fantastic though, holy cow. Now I went out today and got a couple of glass food storage containers because I've had problems with some of the plastic containers I use. They tend to crack or discolor over time, and so like I said, I got these nice new glass containers for storing that, and look at all the food I got off of that. The recipe says that a single batch of this should serve 6 people. So I probably got enough meals for 12 of these here. And that includes this big one right here. Look at all that. That looks really good. I wish you could smell this. This thing smells really good. So I can't wait to try this. So let's do it. All right, it's time to try this bad boy out. It looks really good. It smells really good. When I was transferring the meat from the Instant Pot to the storage dishes, the meat was so tender it was just literally falling apart. It couldn't hold up under its own weight. So you know that means it's going to be really good. And let's give it a shot. I don't even know if I'm going to need the steak knife here. That's probably a wasted effort here. Let's start off with a little potato. I'm going to go easy on this right off the bat because it came out of the Instant Pot. It's been pressure cooked for 45 minutes and slow released for another 15. So this is going to be really, really hot. Yeah, really, really good. Really tender meat. The only thing I would probably do is I'd probably put a little bit more salt. It's a little bland, but that's the beauty of putting a little too little salt on the, you know, when you're preparing it, because you can always add salt later on. But other than that, it's got good filling, you know, got a lot of good stuff in there. The celery, the potatoes, the carrots. Very, very tasty. So yeah, this is a good one. Like I said, you don't have to double do it like I did. But I like to prepare a lot of this kind of stuff because I kind of knew that this was going to be really good. And when I get something, when I've spent the time cooking it, you know, I want to enjoy it for a while. And like I said, I'll probably be eating on this now for the next week or two. So looking forward to that. Check this out if you're interested. I'll put the recipe in the description below. And I think that ends our video today. So thank you as always for watching. And I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Bon appetit.